Hello, I'm Evan Mitchell, music director of the Kingston Symphony Orchestra, and this Sunday afternoon, here on stage at the Isabel Bader Center for the Performing Arts, the Kingston Symphony Orchestra is going to say Happy New Year to all of you in the best way we know how with our largest concert of the year. This show is going to be an absolute blockbuster. We're starting things off with Beethoven's epic overture to Leonore No. 3. This was his third attempt at writing an overture for his one and only opera, Leonore, which was eventually retitled Fidelio. This is perhaps the greatest concert overture ever written, and one of the things that makes it so magnificent is that it dramatically tells, through just the instrumental music, the entire story of this opera in just 12 short minutes. You're going to hear the political prisoners being dragged from the light into the darkness of the deepest cell. You'll hear Leonore begging with the jailer for her husband's life, and keep your eyes and your ears peeled for some offstage trumpet calls. These represent the Duke riding in with the cavalry to set everyone free. Next up, we have Korngold's stunning violin concerto. This is absolutely one of the most beautiful pieces ever written for violin and orchestra. Now, prior to the composition of this violin concerto, Korngold had devoted about a decade of his life to writing film music exclusively. And with the end of the Second World War, he decided that he was going to make a triumphant return to writing so-called serious concert music, and thus the violin concerto was born. And I'm delighted to say that our guest soloist for the performance of the Korngold is none other than Jonathan Crow, who is a very good friend of the Kingston Symphony Orchestra. In fact, the last time that he was here, he performed Mozart's third violin concerto, and I asked him, "Okay, Jonathan, what's next?" And without a second of hesitation, he said, "The Korngold Concerto." So fast forward a couple of seasons, and here we are. And last but certainly not least, we have Shostakovich's Fifth Symphony, which is one of my very favorite pieces of music, full stop. Now, Shostakovich wrote this symphony almost out of necessity because right before its composition, he had been formally denounced by Stalin as being an artistic enemy of the people as a result of writing music that was too experimental and deemed too far outside the party line. So there was an awful lot riding on this particular comeback, and Shostakovich delivered. This piece is wildly inventive, it's constantly surprising, and it is hugely emotional. And over the course of its premiere, there were people who were cheering and openly weeping. And at the very end of the piece, there was a standing ovation that lasted over 30 minutes. And if ever there were a piece that deserved such a curtain call as Shostakovich's Fifth Symphony, it is truly remarkable. So there you have it, the Kingston Symphony Orchestra's biggest, wildest, and craziest concert of the 2017-2018 season. You do not want to miss this concert because this will be one to remember.